Masons are working on the stone. So our stone's gonna stop at the lead. You can see our step flash detail has been working out pretty well. Now one thing that we're doing at Pollock, we are making sure we have drainage behind our block, especially if it's on the actual roof. Mason's got this thing set up now, so we're gonna get our lead through flash. We've already got our template, we already got our lightning rod started. Painters are working on exterior paintwork. Framers up there with 3 machines working on that section. And the pool guys are cleaning their stuff up. All the forms clean up. They're starting to get things ready for that pool plumbing. Timber framers have started. Start getting all the trusses together. Mario's working on the pointing, the cast stone. So we got some Mafai that matches it perfect. Another detail, so since this is a fixed window, our Arcadia windows had a little drip edge on them for all the operable, but this one doesn't. So we started adding another little extra copper piece here that kicks out underneath the casing, plus our top cap, so that way everything is double head flash. Got our light channel on the top that we'll get in before all this gets sheathed, the tongue and groove. And after the masons can continue. These guys are working on copper gable returns. The masons up there, they're gonna keep getting this gable done. We're pretty much wrapped up on this side with stone. So we got the water table detail. I'm just gonna have these guys continuously work around the back, the masons, and do the front last, just because the access in the back is gonna get tighter. Timber frame guys will be back today for the right side. This was the easy one first, straight section, but the other side we got the curved. And eventually my trim carpenter is gonna get back over here and get this side done. He's just working on framing stuff. And then my siding contractor is gonna step out soon. Got the timber on. Looks nice. The upper part of that gable gets siding. So we got our radius sections. But this will not be exposed. The wide beam wrap goes up the face of the stone right there, so it's easier for us to structurally get this in first, then do that beam wrap detail. But then our ridge will be exposed with the bent laminated. So here's all the timber components. I'd say we probably spent almost 5 months going through shop drawings, which the shop drawing process is really important because all this stuff is CNC cut. So it's got to be designed right on the computer first. And then all this is just done with it's a German style CNC. And then we ended up adding the resawn texture. And then obviously everything pre-stained as well. It looks great. And they're using, it's Doug fir material, but there's white oak pegs that put all this together. They always use white oak, it's a little stronger when they're hammering. Still work in progress right now, but you got your radius ridge, all bent laminated. Started setting trusses. It's a lot more challenging on this side. So originally they were gonna try and splice this, but I was like, nah, we gotta do this bent laminated. It's gonna look way cooler. So this ridge is exposed. All the trusses are exposed. This beam is not exposed right here, but we'll have a beam wrap material. This side they got done pretty quickly. It was straight and easy. So it's all conventional frame rafter tails. Because the rafter tails are just like the rest of our soffits with the moral. To match that same detail with our flare and our crown and all that. But then the underside will be exposed. So this whole underside here, we'll get the tongue and groove on top of these ceilings, or the top of these rafters. So you'll see that as your finished ceiling. And then we've got our stone that spaces out 6 inches here. And then we've got a closure board that's gonna be the same Doug fir material stained to kind of complete this whole little detail here. And this here will get a wider beam. So this will be about 20-inch wide beam wrap detail. But it is coming together, it's gonna be sweet. Just getting our power pulled in now. After this is completed, then we can get our inspection. Behind that door is our actual meter socket. We'll get all this inspected so we can get scheduled pico. Guys are working on the radius part. It is so good. So you can see this whole radius. They still got to get all their dowels in and get things tightened out.
Then the rest
they lay out their ridge points.
Are on that skid, and I'd like to bring that skid over here. If I have.
You can see right there, we got a drain point. I'll get the hole down through, so we'll do PVC 3-inch all the way hung through. And then I can slip my 4-inch copper right over top of that. We got our copper that ran underneath of all this cast stone. And then we also have a copper capping that we're gonna run here where siding areas. So that way it'll hang out a little bit, but then as our windows run, I still wanna have that same detail that runs continuous around this whole thing. So this is more of a aesthetic, I would say, this piece here. It'll get wet set. It's just a little mock-up we were doing. So that way, we're still gonna have a caulk joint here, but if this caulk joint ever fails and water ever gets back here, at least there's a copper pan there, so that way things aren't getting trapped behind the sheathing and all, it's all getting kicked out. We're trying to get paint up 4 gutters, but look at that timber.
It's only the wire. It's only the glue. And then the pipes we have.
We got our drains. This area is a little tricky where we got masonry below here, a steel lintel built into our steel area. This will have actually masonry built up underneath, the glass over top of that. Then we got stone that builds up this whole little gable area. This detail here, the lintel actually supports this lintel up top.
A lot of stripers that I'm not going to do.
You got me your pot?
Ciao. Yeah, they're doing the utility fans up there.
Cool.
Yeah, I started an hour early today because I was doing these.
So getting some more retaining walls in. Tie back to the pool. So the way we're tying back in, gonna mix the dirt. There's a little complex corner here. We've got different stone shelves. We've got pier points, stone shelf on the back side, another pier point, stone shelf on the inside, stone shelf that steps all the way up, another pier point. And then we're using this stuff, which is our expansion. So we have half an expansion against the pool. We've got our slip rods, so they'll actually tie in down into that, but it allows for the expansion this way, but locks things in this way. And then eventually we'll infill that other area. They're just adding in additional jets. Got our fiberglass decking up there now. So we've got our downspout point stubbing through the soffit. Excavator prepped the upper patio area, so next week we're gonna start forming for that. Got our overhang started with foam. And then the roof, well, not really roof deck. Used to call them roof decks, but we got a patio deck area, finished space below. So it's all waterproofed. This green color is actually a pickleball court color. It will not be exposed, so that's why they're just burning up colors. They all get wrapped in with stone. Got our AZAC base blocks we made to hide our bolts and stuff. That gets on top of there, a cast stone column, a blue stone that actually the stone, patio stone goes to the top there. Columns past that by about 2 inches all the way around. Masons are getting some cast stone in. Good siding, there's a cast stone detail that wraps around, all the way around siding, but then it picks up a stone on the other side. Using pine on our flares. It all gets hit in there. And instead of 3/4 plywood won't curve, obviously. And we got boral, got a packer, and then it gets wrapped again with a 3/4. So you can kind of see that step where this material is at the finished 3/4, and then we'll clad the top of all that with the sheathing. So that way it's set up for our roofers. On the underside here, you'll see you'll get a beam wrap. It's got a closure board. And you got all that boral. We actually pre-painted it. Channel, wire channel along the top. So I laid out where all of our fixtures are. The electrician's getting everything roughed in, so that way we recessed the box, we drilled it. This ridge I actually made wider, so that way we couldn't fit the light on there, and added that channel. The ridge is technically not structural, more decorative and the whole the fixtures. That's sweet. Same thing over here. Marked out all of our fixture locations. These guys are getting pretty chiseled in. Turning out the old driveway. So we got to cut down some grades. You can see some of these drains are pretty low. That's the new grades, which actually corrects a lot of the existing issues here with water. Getting in the habit of overbooking my Mondays. But very busy morning, got that wall laid out, those guys are all set up. Excavator is working on ripping out the driveway. So that made access very tight today. Luckily we got a second driveway, but timber framers also got them in. They're continuing on our veranda. Framers are working on rigid insulation. Got our masons up, or not masons. We've got our roofers working on the actual slate in the center where they can. Masons are working around the back. Just back working on this. Alright, so we've been getting our stairs in on the family entry. We have a couple funky details where we did these Z-beams. And we did these cross landing details. It's all conventional framing, no steel. Otherwise you get a little bit of bounce on steel. Same thing here, we got that Z-beam detail. And then there's one that we have up in that window well, you'll see a little funky detail. Shady is working on the radius flares on the radius veranda, the radius wall, using a straight level. Hauling out dirt. So we got our pad built up rough right now. This is where our patio area goes later. Not ready yet, but we got this upper patio ready. So we'll be pouring this today. We had to put some conduit stubbing up in a couple areas. Those are for actually pot fillers, irrigation boxes. And I have another pipe I stubbed up for a future gas grill area. Now that we've got our fiberglass done, we started doing some of our air sealing, bridge flashing along the side, and then the masons will start on this. They're not ready yet, kind of working their way around. I'm having everybody work their way all the way around because access will get tighter back here. We're gonna get that waterproofed actually tomorrow. And we can't backfill around the pool yet because we added in these jets a little late. So Billy will go in whenever that stuff arrives. We'll end up closing up that wall, which was supposed to be done by now. But progress. It's got some stone in. So we already started cutting a lot of grit out. We are starting to export material. Ripped out all the existing driveway now. And we are gonna get some modified. We're prepping for driveway. We're not there yet. So I don't have my Pico install date yet, but that'll be over on that location. and they'll tie their Pico Power up to the front of the property. Just gonna get some concrete stairs poured now. JD's working on the radius rafter tails. Making decent progress.